How's it going, everybody? I just want to take a minute to talk about meme coin psychology, in particular Shiba Inu. I've been paying really close attention to this live stream on here, Ted Gets Bread $1,000,000 Journey, and I've been having some really interesting conversations in the chat room. And it's very interesting to look at the psychology of people who put like $75 into Shiba Inu and then are able to buy, become a Shiba Inu millionaire and accumulate 100 million for a very, very low price, whatever entry level that you get in at. And all these different things are certainly relative. When you consider something like the metaverse and what we've been seeing happening with Mana. Now, you take a look at Decentraland, Mana, and it's at $4.26 at the current time of recording this video. But you consider the fact that only a short, probably month and a half ago, even, probably September, October, we were looking at the fact that you could purchase a full Mana for 70 cents, but now it costs you like a Starbucks cup of coffee, $4 to get that. And the amount of losses that we've seen in this recent market correction have knocked the price down. It's very interesting just to see that 70-cent journey and how it translates to the current market psychology. Now, the way that this translates to my experience of what I've seen happening, in particular, I would cite the Doge price. I mean, we have to talk about meme coins, then we're going to be forced to discuss what's currently happening with the 20-cent Doge. Now, the average person, I would imagine, the retail investor who's involving themselves with cryptocurrency might be intimidated by the $56,000 Bitcoin or the $4,000 Ethereum. And their money might be a lot safer putting $10 into Ethereum and then purchasing 0.01 Ethereum for that entry level position. And it's probably just going to stay boring around $10 for the better part of a year. I mean, certainly I do think that eventually Ethereum is going to be worth $20,000 probably within the next 56 weeks or so. We'll see a lot of that stuff happen. But you imagine somebody puts $10 into Ethereum today, and then 56 weeks to a year and a half go by, and that $10 is only going to be worth like $60. So they have multiplied their investment a few times over, it's not nearly as exciting as risking your money on these meme coins, or even something that's a bit more substantial like crypto.com. But at the same time, I mean, in the current market projection that we're seeing happening right now, I mean, this was approaching $1 before we were seeing all this different FUD. Now, when we talk about regulations and a lot of the different aspects of things that have been happening in the cryptocurrency space, I mean, you all know me. The horse that I'm backing is Sol. I really, really have a big, I'm really excited. I have a big ego over my Sol collection right now because I think that Sol was probably one of the better, more substantial. And when you look at the way that Sol's been performing right now, it's a lot closer to the way that we saw Ethereum performing about a year ago. But all those different things are beside the point when we want to look at a lot of the different price action that we've been seeing happening in the crypto space as it's been currently evolving and developing. I mean, Cardano is also a really good pick. XRP is actually a very disappointing project, I'd say, as far as just overall gains. I mean, I remember 2018, it was, I mean, at its all-time high, which was reached in the 2017 era. We were seeing it at like the better part of $3, and so people are still caught holding some really huge bags of XRP. Now, I understand the $10 dream of XRP, which I still think is pretty valid. I mean, I think that the banks and all these different things, when we talk about regulators coming in and involving themselves with the cryptocurrency space, XRP sort of is probably like the new dollar. But in a lot of these other aspects of it, I just would really like to just speak to the overall confidence of the Shiba Inu space, because there's plenty of moon boys out there right now who probably don't necessarily have the tough hands, or perhaps you can't even afford it, holding on to your digital assets and being able to just grind it out. But I mean, we all remember the days, even just last year, I believe Bitcoin was around $20,000. Yeah, well, wow, it's actually outdated, even my memory there. But still, last September it was $10,000, and then October we're looking at that sort of meteoric rise that was happening with the Bitcoin space. But still, these are all things to take into account, because I understand it's very, very difficult. In particular, I mean, this looks like just a sort of a blip on the radar, but I remember in 2017 when we were looking at Bitcoin's all-time high of $20,000. I mean, these dips and stuff, going from $20,000 to $3,000, that was huge for people, and that happened over the course of an entire year. So I mean, it does take some grit. But then just look what happened. We're really witnessing a whole validation of the blockchain space as it currently exists, which is pretty impressive to see happening over the past year. I mean, anybody who's worth their salt in the cryptocurrency space is is used to losing multiple thousands of dollars in a minute, and then just sort of, it's all, you only lose when you sell. So when you buy these assets, you should, and I think that's probably one of the more toxic things that's been happening in the cryptocurrency space these days, is that people want to move from one project to the other, and that's sort of like the new dream, is that people think that they could buy in one meme token and then switch over to another. But no, if you could take one thing away from this video, is that it's all about these two right here. It's all about Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if you've made money on any of these assets, it's all subject to change with many different variables as we see things continuing to develop. I mean, I see Sol as a worthy hodl, and I'd recommend hodling everything and not trading one bit, because there's too many complications with it. But I mean, if you want to read technical analysis and you can make the correct calls, then certainly there is a lot of potential there. But at the same time, you only lose when you sell. So if you accumulate 0.010 Bitcoin today, the fact of the matter is that the Bitcoin evaluation is only going to be pushed further over to the zero, which is good for the holder and bad for the trader, unless you're fairly experienced or well intentioned. Regardless, all that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm not your financial advisor. I'll see you next video. Have a good one.